All right, now welcome to the next lectures. We are going to be looking at protecting sheets in the please hold on. Let's fix something here. Okay. All right. So basically, we are going to be looking at protecting sheets, and when you are working as a data analyst or using Excel to carry out some data preparation, or for let's say even data entry, you likely want to protect your sheet. All right. Let's say, for example, that you would want to prevent people from accessing some certain information from a particular sheet, maybe such as modifying some values there. You can actually protect a sheet and then you disable users from inputting values or altering anything there or figures, especially if it's financial data. Now that's basically what we are going to be doing. So by default, Excel protects its cells. For example, let's say you click on here, go to format cells and go to protection here. Right, by default every cell in Excel is usually locked. Right, so having seen this, let's say we want to protect this particular sheet. As you said, this is a workbook and then we have different sheets inside a workbook here. So we are currently working on this. So for you to protect a sheet, you can come here, take your mouse to the sheet tab here, right click. Right, so as we were saying, you may want to protect your sheet. Now what you have to do here is to let's say once you click on here, right clicking on the protect sheet, that is this particular sheet here, then click on the protect sheet here. Now something is going to come up here prompting you to put in password to unprotect the sheets. Now let's type in a password there. 1234. I'll be giving 1234. Okay, and then it says re-enter password 1234. So I click OK. Now what happens once I try to make changes to any of the cells here? It tells me the cell or chart you are trying to change is on a protected sheet. To make a change, unprotect the sheet, you might be requested to enter a password. Okay. All right, then the next thing to look at here is because we saw before that every default Excel cells are usually they are usually locked. And let's say we want to unlock 10 cells and then lock every other entire sheet. For example, we have these cells that contain data. We want to only unlock these 10 cells. By default, these cells are locked. So we want to unlock these, and then every place here we cannot type something. We protect the rest of the sheet. All right, so how do we do that? The first step to take is by selecting these 10 cells. So you click here and drag to the last, and then it says unlock cells. So the next thing to do is to just right click, go to format cells, and then in the format cells under protection, you uncheck this locked because by default it's locked. So click on here and click OK. Now after the second step, the next step is to protect your sheets. Right, so go over here and then right click and then click on protect sheets. Then we are asked to type a password. We are going to be using 1234. Then we have to re-enter password to confirm 1234. Okay. Now this is what happens. If you try to type any value into any cells here, you have this error message coming up. All right. We cannot input anything here, make changes to here, but we can only edit the content of these 10 cells. Okay. For example, let's say we want to edit from glasses to anything, let's say flash drive. So we can do something like this, can edit here. All right, now the next thing to check is here is how to lock 10 cells and then you unlock the entire sheet. What we just did here was to unlock 10 cells and then lock the entire sheet. We are going to be doing the opposite by unlocking, all right, locking the 10 cells and then we unlock the entire sheet. All right, so for us to lock these 10 cells and unlock the entire sheet, the different steps have been put in here. And then the first thing says you have to select the entire sheet. For you to select the entire sheet, take your cursor to this point, that's the intersection here at this corner between the columns and the rows. just tap on here, the whole cells will be, highlighted. Now you have to make sure that all these cells here are unlocked. So right click and then go to format cells, and then in the format cells dialog box here, make sure that you unlock here. All right, click OK. So unlock the entire cells. Now after unlocking entire cells, the next thing is to lock the 10 cells. Lock the 10 cells here, and then you unlock the entire sheet. Now how do you do that? So it says what? Lock the 10 cells. Sorry, lock the 10 cells. Lock the 10 cells. Seems I made a mistake here. So we then lock the 10 cells. So we've unlocked the entire cell. So for you to lock these 10 cells, you click here, then go to format cells. Under protection, click locked, then click OK. Now the next thing says protect the sheet. Go to the sheet here, right click, protect sheets, put in a password 234, confirm your password 1234, and click OK. So now we've protected the sheet, and then we can type values here inside the entire sheet in any of the cells in this entire sheet, but we cannot do the same in this. That means we cannot alter any of this text here. Like say we are trying to make changes, right? So we've successfully locked these 10 cells, and then we've unlocked the entire sheet. All right. So I think we've successfully seen how to carry out these two, and we've achieved that, locking 10 cells, unlocking these cells, and then unlocking the entire sheet and locking the entire sheet. Now, other times you may be given an Excel template containing, sheets, and then these sheets are protected. How do you actually get access to this sheet? Or the other way around, you may lock your sheet and then you forget your password. That's not going to actually make sense. So what you have to do, we are going to cover another section where we see how to unprotect sheets. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in our next class.